Some places look completely safe on the surface. A quiet beach, a cozy home at night, or a routine stop at a motel. But evil doesn't care about the setting. Tonight, we are counting down 5 terrifying true stories of ordinary people who crossed paths with absolute nightmare. If you're watching this alone in the dark, I suggest you lock your doors. Story 1. Our first nightmare begins at a massive beach house party during a 20th birthday bash. Walking along the shoreline, I heard loud, angry voices cutting through the wind. I stopped and spotted a guy and a girl screaming at each other, looking completely unhinged. Suddenly, I heard a violent splash. I whipped my head around just in time to see the guy shove the woman. She flew backward into the shallow water, landing flat on her back, while he towered over her, seething with pure rage. I wanted to turn away and pretend I saw nothing, but that shove was only the opening act to a much darker crime. Story 2. Danger takes on a whole new meaning when it enters your private sanctuary. One night, while a heavy darkness blanketed the house, I heard heavy boots hitting the wooden floorboards in the hall. I scrambled back, curling into a tight ball in the corner, hugging my knees. I convinced myself that if I stayed perfectly silent, the intruder would grab whatever he wanted from the living room and leave. That delusion lasted about 5 minutes, until the footsteps moved closer. And then, the old walkie-talkie in my hand cracked to life. The room filled with the terrified, piercing cries of my baby sister. My sister wasn't supposed to be in that house. Story 3. Sometimes, the scariest monsters don't hide in the shadows, they sit right beside you. After a few agonizing minutes of a mascot sitting completely still in an awkward silence, I decided to break the ice. "Hey, I'm Lena. What's your name?" The suit turned to face me slowly, joint by stiff joint. A low, muffled voice crawled from inside, "You can call me Cody. Pleasure meeting you." But as he kept speaking, his words shifted from an innocent greeting into something deeply twisted, revealing a mind completely unhinged by the dark side of the internet. Story 4. Driving down a dead highway at night is already creepy, but running across the gravel to a freshly crashed sedan changed everything. The man inside grabbed my arm the second I reached him, his eyes wide, unfocused, and shaking with absolute terror. "Please call 911, he begged, acting as though someone was hunting him. I looked over my shoulder and saw a woman sitting motionlessly in the passenger seat. But minutes later, when she limped through the door covered in blood and glass embedded in her cheek, I realized the man wasn't the victim I thought he was. I had just welcomed a monster into my store. Story 5. And finally, we arrive at the most chilling revelation of all. As a motel night manager, I knew Dr. Howard was a twisted man who operated in the shadows. But nothing could prepare me for what I saw when I rushed into his room after hearing a cry for help. Anastasia's butchered body lay lifeless on the table. When I threatened to call the cops, Dr. Howard pressed a bloody scalpel to my throat. "Help me get rid of her body," he whispered coldly, "unless you want to end up in the wood chipper with the rest of them." Forced into silence, we dragged her corpse outside. But as he dumped her remains into the machine, he whispered the ultimate horror: her shredded remains had been used as fertilizer for the motel's beautiful potted plants. I kept my job, but I lost my soul that night.